So y'all out here just jumping in and out of bed with each other, not thinking nothing about the other persons and people that they've been jumping in and out of bed with as well. So y'all have been getting flued out, flied out, flown out, and y'all not thinking about the other person that they also flued, flown, and flied out. So in New Orleans, Houston, the Carolinas, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Jackson, Mississippi, and Alabama, there is an HIV outbreak. Because y'all out here dipping and dodging with each other, not giving a fuck about who else they've been dipping and dodging with. Y'all want to hook up and think that there is nothing but curable STDs. And while everything is curable, baby, why put yourself through it? Y'all are out here jumping in and out of bed with each other. Somebody said HIV is not a problem because they have medicine that will keep you from getting full-blown AIDS. So y'all are just okay with walking around with HIV, taking your PrEP, and going about your day. And then some of you feel like you don't even have to disclose. Some of you feel like you don't even have to disclose your status. So not only do you not care about your own life, you're showing that you don't care about other people's lives either. Some of you guys know that you're unwell and you're sick, and you still hook up with people.
Bro, this is the culture we're in. This is basically running rampant in the Black American community. Like, but you have to understand a couple of things here. I think when we look at it from the outside, let's say this here, guys, or the inside at least here. The majority of these households are basically being ran, not by specifically men in the household. Most of them are single mother households. And when this happens, you're not trying to foster any self-worth into your children at all. All they're experiencing is erratic emotions here, guys. Right? What happens to women when they're not raised with a father? What happens? They tend to be the loosest on the street, guys. Right? And what happens to the sons that are being raised exclusively to embody their emotion and never actually, diving or delving specifically into experiencing any type of actual logic here, okay? A lot of this is coming from single mother households. And most of the men that are running around absolutely running through all of these women have no self-worth neither, because they're just running through women. These are men raised without fathers in their households. And this is actually not too far off from what's happening in the Latino culture, guys, right? It is just the same thing. It is indicative of fathers not being in the household. And you cannot expect, I would say, for many men to want to deal with how some of the women tend to portray themselves as these days, at least, right? I mean, you have to be a special type of man to want to take that type of stuff. We're living in a culture where debauchery seems to be what most people are kind of attracted to right now, right? Everyone is loose with their body while wondering why they're still getting the same outcomes in life and within relationships. This is it here, guys. We are at the end times of our situation here. We need each other to replace the population of people. If both parties are like, ew, we don't like each other. Why? Because we're promoting the concept of single motherhood, right? We're promoting it. We're putting it on a pedestal. We're pedestalizing it and not understanding the repercussions that happen with the kids that are generally being raised in these households. Now, can there be some outliers that absolutely have the ability to kind of separate from that and actually be productive members of society? Absolutely here. Absolutely. Right. There's always an outlier in every single, survey or test here, guys. Right. But until we actually stop being in promotion of non-nuclear households. Okay, number one here, do not promote the concept of non-nuclear households. Do not praise the men that run around and fornicate or copulate with as many women as humanly possible, or pedestalize women that are absolutely loose with their bodies all over the internet. Let's get back to where we had some literal tact here. Women tend to say the men are all garbage. Well, most of the men in the Black American community are being raised how? Because it seemed like when nuclear families existed large scale and that was the template for a family, this type of thing was not so rampant. But until we got into the point of like the realm of the revolution, let's just say this here, things started getting absolutely debaucherous. I really don't see an end of this at all within the Black American community because of how headstrong, some Black American women are. And that's just a thing that's going to continue happening here. There's certain things that the Black American community never needed, specifically Black American women. They never needed. They latched on to like the liberal white feminists specifically, right? They latched on to the cause thinking that it had anything to do with them. Had nothing to do with you. Black American households in the 60s did not run the same exact way white American households did at the time, right? So if you want to fight for something that makes sense specifically based off of the community, I would say. If you notice, around that time is when you started running into, massive amounts of like single motherhood, because again, you need no men. The government got you back, bro. Right? The destruction of the nuclear family absolutely is the cause of all of this. Yeah. Let's go against what we did since the beginning of human time. Let's do that. Right? Look at what we've experienced since the 1970s. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. Just look at the Black American community in promotion of every single thing that is toxic and debaucherous, right? Like even at the highest level, someone achieves a doctorate degree and they're taking photos specifically with like grills in their mouth. They have to make sure that, that they represent for the community still. Bro, look at an HBCU graduation. Look at it. You're supposed to be the best of us. Look at it. Look at rap music's lyrics. Okay. Every single thing is in promotion of taking a woman's body without her, wanting it for the most part here. At the end of the day, that's kind of, let me get her drunk as humanly possible to, take her body. Let's put something in her drink, let's say, to take her body, right? It's what is promoted within a Black American community, bro. It is what it is. We need to fix it. How do we fix it? Let's get back to nuclear families. That will solve a good amount of it. Let's get things out of the community that had nothing to do with the community in the first place. You understand? Black men never really had the power specifically to, let's say, hold their women down large scale. All right, that's not a thing, bro. Let's just finish this out, guys. This is a rough one.
So now we're in this era where nobody wants to wear protection. Who likes to wear protection? Come on, kid your mother, not me. All right. And we're just hooking up with everyone. You don't realize where you're just trying to get that nut, baby. That person you're trying to get that nut from, think about if you're doing this to them, who else did it to them? If she just throwing it to you in that manner, who else did she throw it to?
Exactly.
And I'm not even going to shame people for hooking up on the first day, because everybody
shame them. What are you talking about? Shame them hard.
Has a lot of judgment, and nobody has any room to judge. Okay? But we really, as a culture, need to begin protecting ourselves again. I'm not judging, because I sat and I hooked up with someone, and thank God I didn't get HIV, but I did get a baby. Yeah. I remember my doctor sitting there saying like, yo, what about the things that are incurable? I wasn't considering a baby. All right. So while some of y'all is walking away with babies, some of y'all is walking away with HIV. People, go get tested. Go get tested. And then y'all need to go hit up Yaki. Get up Yaki and get your shit cured.
All right, guys. Oh, okay. I don't know what Yaki means. I don't know what that is, but whatever. Live your best life. Bring back common sense families. You do understand that we're living in a generation where the average man has seen more of the viscous innards than any king has in the history 200 years ago. Are you aware of that? Concubines included. Like you understand. Like images count in the context of what I'm saying here. The average man has seen more of this. All right. Than royalty. Okay. Just be aware of where we are in the society, right? So for example, it's really hard for, I think, some women to understand what actual men want from women. I think so. It's really hard here. There's a great amount of men specifically who will go onto social media and start basically pumping the head up of some random loose woman on the internet because she showed her cheeks, bro. Look at all of those likes versus the woman that is a quiet person and just taking photos of nonsense, a random selfie in her backyard, right? She's not getting any of the attention, but trust me, that's the woman you want to marry, bro. Not the one with the BBL. Most men don't even want the BBL, bro. There's a difference between what we like looking at and what we actually will marry. You understand? Like, you can tell this woman looks like a wife, if that makes any sense. She looks like a wife. This woman is going to get all the attention, but don't confuse attention, right, with what men actually want. Like, so for example, a man will be with you for the sole purpose of renting your womb, basically, Okay, and never want to deal with you again. But then the woman that was dealt with momentarily there, she then perceives that that guy is at the level of guys that she should always go for. When in all actuality, bro, bring people need to come back down to earth. Okay, most people on earth are five. Okay, most women that you're going to see on earth are five out of 10. Okay, that's the average. Okay, that's the average, guys. All right, what is going on here? All right, just be real, be realistic. Do not perceive just because that man borrowed your body for an hour, that man wanted to marry you. No, you were being borrowed, if that makes any sense. And that man that did that is absolutely garbage. Okay, stop it, bro. Stop it immediately. This is pissing me off. I'm gonna go ahead and go because I just feel my blood pressure rising. Right, but listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Yeah, get tested, absolutely. All right, and in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.